this computer. Okay, we're recording. So happy Sunday evening. It's August 6th. One little announcement is that the National Wake Up Call topic tomorrow looks awesome. It's from Jen Richardson, I think, on free groups, which is always super exciting to hear how people do their free groups. So hop on. It's at 8 o'clock Pacific time, which is my time. So go off of that. 8 Pacific, 9 Mountain Time, 10 Central, 11 Eastern. So there's also always a recording playback forever in the podcast. And there's also a playback phone number too if you don't get on live. Anyways, so it's August somehow already, which is insane, but that's exciting because it's a new month. You can start fresh. I almost said fresh start. You have a fresh start. You can start fresh. And we're going into fourth quarter, which is also insane, but really exciting. And I saw a post from Bonnie Engel. I don't know if you guys follow her. I don't like get notifications from other coaches, but like two of the top whatever coaches I see first on my timeline, my Facebook newsfeed. And I saw a post from her, Bonnie Engel, that said like, what you do in August determines the rest of your year. I mean, that could be, whatever, whoever can say that. But it could be so true. I see the truth behind it because August is tough. Fall is starting back up. School, jobs, things are changing. You're getting in all your last minute summer activities. So you put everything aside and you want to go to this barbecue or you want to, have one last bash, one last hurrah, and you put everything else to the side while you have fun for the summer. It's fine, but there's a balance. Point being, August is tough for a lot of people in a lot of ways. So how you handle it can really set the tone for the rest of the year because honestly it's only going to get harder. The holidays, like Halloween's going to be here in no time, and then once Halloween hits, like the year's over, right? It feels like. So setting yourself up in August right now, not at the end of August, not in 2 weeks, right now, starting whenever you're watching this call is so important truly to the rest of your year. So I see a lot of truth behind the saying or the idea that what you do in August really sets the tone for the rest of your year. So make the most of it. Now is the time. Anyways, I mentioned, I think before I started recording, that this call is all kind of random tidbits from Summit that we were at last month, a couple weeks ago. I didn't really know how to nicely organize things all into one call. I did for the last call, but there wasn't really enough content just to have one topic on. So they all do kind of tie into each other, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So I made a little PowerPoint here. Let me see if I can. I have to screen share first. That would probably be helpful. Hold on. Thanks for bearing with me. I don't really know. Whatever. We'll just try to screen share. Start share. Okay. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see my slides? Cool. Okay. Thanks, Jamie. I see you. So sorry about the view. It's kind of silly, but we'll go with it so I can still see faces. So like I said, Summit tidbits, random things. The first topic that I want to talk about is a little piece of what Jamie Fitzpatrick, a male top coach, like first ever male top coach, super cool. And Jamie thinks it's cool that his name's Jamie. He talked about drawing your line in the sand. And we've heard that before, and from different leaders in the network, draw your line in the sand. This is it. Draw your line. Like, the idea is to draw your line in the sand, like I've had enough, and then move forward, But he was talking about you can draw your line in the sand all you want, but that's not enough. You have to draw your line in the sand, and then you have to do something about it. You have to take action, which is so true. Shoot, I think we stopped recording. Shucks. Anyways, I've drawn my line in the sand multiple times, right? And then I didn't do anything about it. So he talked about, sure, you can draw your line in the sand, but that's not enough. So that's kind of part of the theme of what I'm going to talk about. But I'm totally bummed this recording, but that's okay. That's the benefit of being on live. So he also had the idea of anyways, I don't know if it worked, but he also was talking about why not you? He was up there as the first male top coach, and he didn't just say, poor me, you know, I can't do it. It's only been women before me or blonde women before me. Why not you? You don't have to be a top coach, but why can't you be leading a call like I am one day? Or why can't you do whatever you want? If he can do it, if they can do it, any of us can do it. And why not you? Why not now? Why wait? Uh-oh. Sounds like you're crazy. Mute. Okay, I think we're good. Cool. Okay, sorry. These will probably just be the things that come up running calls. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's the point. I don't know what I'm doing. You might not feel like you might feel like you don't know what you're doing, but so what? Why can't we figure it out? I'm trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure it out, and that's all we can do. But why not you? Why not now? And I know during Taylor had said to me, Taylor came to Summit with me, and she said, like, why can't I do it? They're all doing it. And I was like, you know what, girl, you're so right. And it was really cool to see her as my personally sponsored coach say that, like, if they can do it, I can do it. And I was like, okay, that means I can do it. And just instilling this belief in each other, being inspired by each other, not with the mindset like, oh, well, that's for them, you know, I don't dream that big. I can't achieve those things. Why not? Don't let other people's success discourage you. Let it inspire you. Otherwise, it will discourage you. But why not you? Why not now? And I think he may have had a physical envelope, or he just talked about a figurative envelope. I don't know. That here's an envelope, and that's why I have an envelope on the screen. This is totally cheesy, but it really stuck out with me at the time because I wrote a lot of notes about it. Like, here's this envelope. It's empty. The envelope has your future, your destiny in it. Handed us the envelope. Again, the envelope is empty, so fill it because it's up to you. And if you open that envelope in a year or in 4 years or in 45 years, what would be in there? You have the power to fill up that envelope. I don't know why, but that was so powerful. But it was, and I hope that kind of was the same way for you. Obviously it's different being in a huge NFL arena or whatever arena we were in, and just us being on this virtual call. But just that analogy of you have an empty envelope. Even if you've been a coach for 10 years, your envelope is empty today. You've started to fill it up, but you can empty it out right now. Get rid of the bad stuff. Get rid of whatever you want. Your envelope is empty, so fill it up. What are you going to open in a year? What are you going to open in 5 years? What's going to be in your envelope in 45 years or in 70 years? You get to fill it. Pretty cool. The next the next speakers I want to talk about was a combination of Danielle Matoni and Lindsay Stay. By the way, I just have to say, because Summit was so cool, Lindsay Stay, I don't think she's been a top 10 coach, but she's like a very, successful coach. I totally look up to her. You guys should check out her page. I don't want to say follow because I know that following top coaches isn't always something people do, and you don't have to. I don't follow tons of people either. But we're getting chat. 1 second. Yeah. Oh, good. It's still recording. Thanks, Keisha. Anyways, Lindsay Stay, she has like huge, big, curly blonde hair, and she's just awesome and Southern and Christian, and it's cool. I was in the bathroom, and all of a sudden she came out of the stall and needing help. She asked me for help to take off her sleeve or like unzip something or whatever, like wardrobe issue. I was like, oh my gosh, sure. Let me not act like I'm seeing a celebrity because I totally feel like I am, but I didn't experience things like that. I see Tate's booty right now. That is so adorable. No, I love it. But it was so cool. This is the second summit I've been to, and I hadn't like seen celebrity coaches, whatever. They're totally Beachbody celebrities to me. That's like the silliest thing ever. But I did not experience anything like that at my first one. And then to help Lindsay stay in the bathroom, and we saw a bunch of other top coaches, and it was so cool. That's why you guys have to be there, because maybe you'll help Lindsay stay with her whatever unitard thing she was wearing. Anyways, so they talked about on a scale of 1 to 10, and I want you guys to do this. That's why I wrote these on this slide. Sorry, my nose is like running, but it's okay. We gonna roll with it. Anyways, that's why I wrote this on this slide. I want you guys to actually do it, because so many times, even during Summit, a live event like Summit, they suggest like, okay, let's do this exercise, and you don't do it. And you just, it fleets your mind, if that's how you say it. My dog wants to get up. Sorry, you're locked in here with me. It escapes your mind, and you don't get the value out of the intention of whatever exercise that was. I do that too. On team calls, on live events, whatever. Sometimes you just don't participate. But I want you to. It's cool, because this really helps me think about things. But anyways, they had us rate on a scale of 1 to 5 our belief in 3 different areas. 1 being the lowest, 5 being strong, unwavering belief. So belief in the products on a scale, your belief in Beachbody products. The programs, On Demand, Shakeology, Performance Line, on a scale of 1 to 5. How much you believe in them. And I'm not going to ask you guys to share this. I was like, oh, I have to answer 5 for everything. Like, no, you don't. That would be a lie. That would just, defeat the purpose of this too. Be honest, and you don't have to be embarrassed about any of your answers. It can really help you learn things that I'll talk about in just a second. But a scale of 1 to 5, your belief in the products. And then a scale of 1 to 5, your belief in the company, like in Carl Deichler, our CEO, and in Beachbody. A scale of 1 to 5, how much you believe in Beachbody. And then your belief in yourself, how much you believe in yourself. And that doesn't have to be just as a coach. It can be in however you think of it, whatever came to mind. And you can think about those more, but I do really, really encourage you to give yourself an honest rating in all 3 of those areas, and then you can reflect on them and kind of do work around them. So they pointed out where you scored low, you can do PD, personal development, around that area. If maybe your score was low, whatever low means to you, not 5 or low 1 or 2, I don't know. But if you scored low in your belief in the products, the kind of PD you can do around that is in our Coach Online office. And researching the products, using the products too, but to believe in the products so heavily that you never question when you're sharing them. Because you have to be genuine, so you have to believe in the products. And it's not wrong of you if you didn't score 5 in there. That's okay, because we can change it. But again, that just, you have to believe in the products in order to genuinely share them and keep the integrity of your business and yourself. But anyways, and that just comes with giving yourself an honest answer and being knowledgeable and all the information. I'll talk about this too, but all the information we could ever possibly need is there for us, whether it's in the FAQ or the product toolkits in our Coach Online office or on Google or on YouTube or from me. I'm not like a Google source, but if there's something that I can help you with, I can provide information, you know what I mean? Or your upline coach or whoever. It doesn't have to be me. I don't mean that at all. But there are, endless resources for us. Everything we could need to know is provided. We don't have to recreate a wheel. That's tough to say. Or come up with information. There's always new ideas and new things and processes to put in place, but we don't have to. We tend to overcomplicate this business so much. But going back to our scale of 1 to 5, if you scored what you consider low in the belief in the company, PD you can do around that is by watching Carl Deichler, our CEO, watching his live videos. Because he riles you up, and hearing him talk, even if it's only through a Facebook video or something, seeing him in person is a whole other experience. P.S. He's coming to Seattle Super Saturday in September, and if anyone wants to come, you should come. But that's probably a little crazy. Anyways, I'm really excited because seeing him in person is like, you just want to like go hug the man, you know, because he just bleeds belief, which is exactly what we're talking about. After hearing him talk, again, even if it's just on a Facebook Live video, you just believe in his mission and you believe in Beachbody so much because you see how genuine and awesome he is. And he gave, obviously multiple, but he gave a really cool speech at Summit as well. He called it like a CEO to CEO talk about how much he needs us. And it was just really cool. But anyways, so that's a way to increase your belief in the company is by listening to Carl. And if you're not familiar with him, that too, it may just because you're not familiar with really what his mission is or what his vision for Beachbody is, and learning those things increases your belief in the company in itself. You know, there's no work that you need to do around that. Just listen to the man talk and you're like, okay, I'm in, I got it. I trust you. What you say makes sense. Let's do it. Let's go. Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. Right? And then, of course, belief in yourself. You guys know what I'm going to say about that is your own personal development. But I was talking with someone about this not too long ago. Figure out why your belief in yourself is low. Think further. Think a little deeper and seek out personal development on that. Maybe these are all tied into each other. You don't believe in yourself because maybe you don't really know a lot about Shakeology when people ask you about it. So go back. So many resources out there, remember. Educate yourself on that, and then you'll be confident in when you're talking about Shakeology. Or maybe it's something totally different, you know, that you can do personal development around. But seek out what topic you need PD on for yourself and do that. Don't just read whatever book that your neighbor's reading because you hear it's a good PD book. Maybe it doesn't resonate with you at all. And that's fine. Like, nothing's wrong with you. The other cool thing is that, you know, because we buy personal development books, probably unless you're going to a library or lending them, which you should look into. But if you're buying them, you really want to. I just spent $15 on this book. Everyone says it's good. I have to like it. I have to read it. I spent money on it. No. I've done it before. It was The Universe Has Your Back, believe it or not. I started that book and I was like, no, like, I can't do this. So I stopped because I was wasting my time. I was almost getting like mad at myself or mad at someone else or something for like, oh, they said this was a good book, or like, why don't I like this book? Put it down. Like, if you're not feeling it, put it down. Come back to it. I came back a couple months later. I love the book. So, you know, don't write things off permanently. Maybe it's just not for you, and that's fine too. But if you're not feeling a personal development book just because I recommended it, so what? We're not the same person, even if we're like seem like the same person, you know, and books can stand out to you at different times. Maybe it's just not your time for that book, or maybe it never will be. Anyways, went on too long of a rant about personal development, but you get my point. Not everyone needs the same PD. And figure out something that's actually going to benefit you, not just because you heard The Universe Has Your Back is a cool book, you know? So Danielle Natoni and Lindsay say, again, a couple more points about what they talked about. Their like whole thing was F perfection, because it'll never happen. And we get so hung up on, oh, I got to make, again, you know, this national wake-up call tomorrow. Got to make this free group so great. You make it perfect, you become a perfectionist, and either it never happens, or you just beat yourself up too much and miss out on opportunity, or whatever the case is. But stop going for perfection. It will not happen. And it's probably hard for some of you to hear because that's the way I am, and I know that I attract people like me, but we just got to give it up, okay? And it's hard, and we have to practice that every single day. But it was really cool to hear from two really successful women, like, throw it out. I don't want to say the words because I know there's little kids on this call, but throw perfection out the door because it will not happen. So, okay, that's all there is to that point. But I wanted to make that point because it really stood out to me, obviously for a reason. And kind of like the overwhelming theme of many of these smaller workshops at Summit was taking action. You know, like I started off with, you can draw your line in the sand, but it doesn't mean squat if you don't take action. Or, you know, you could know that your belief in yourself is low, but knowing that doesn't mean squat if you don't take action. So the only way, or what taking action will do, is build confidence. And so many things have to start with taking action. I think I'm going to do another call on like a whole other series of choices and action and success and how they all tie into each other. So I won't get too much into it because that was another great, huge topic at Summit. But anyways, all about taking action. And I'll talk about that towards the end of the call as we're about to go take action. Let's see. The other thing that I could talk for hours on that they mentioned was connection with people. How you get longevity from customers or coaches is connection. It's not, there's kind of two different schools of thought on this. I know Amy Silverman shared that she views herself simply as I don't know what word she used, but maybe the vehicle of customer to Beachbody. Once she's done that, her job is done. Not that she doesn't like follow people, but she really sees like, that's my only job, because I know that they will fall in love with Beachbody after that. And I get that too. However, until you've made that transition and maybe your customer or your coach is kind of independent of you, if that ever happens, they're there because of you. Because whoever connected with you, and that's why they stay, right? And that's why, you know, if I move, if I move, Ryan's coming with me because he's connected to me. So no matter what you do, people stay because of you. Anyways, I don't really know why that was an analogy, but people stay because of you. Honestly, not because of Beachbody. Beachbody's amazing, but let's say I quit. Most of my customers probably would stop using Beachbody products because it was me, first of all, holding them accountable and getting them in the groups, and not to toot our own horn, but we hold a lot of value in people's lives. You know what I mean? They're depending on us, but they stick around because of us, because we're their coach, we're their motivator. We're here for a reason, and that means a lot. That's a big responsibility, but a really cool one once you are able to live it, you know? So give yourself that credit, first of all, that people are looking to you, and that's really cool. That's not scary. Don't let that be scary, because you're on this call, you're already walking the walk and talking the talk. But people are looking to you, and that is really cool. We just have to do something with it, of course, and make the most of it. But the next part, like my little red typo things here, but the next part, a big chunk of, I could do a whole call on this, but I tried to condense it. Mindy Winder, she's a really unique coach. She talked a lot about sustaining belief in the company. Let me let my dog out to Ryan. Sustaining belief. And she talked about the necessity of having this unwavering belief, right? Just kind of how I kind of talked about scale of 1 to 5, belief in the products, company, and yourself. But you have to believe in what we're doing, right? That's all there is to it, or it will not last, and or there will be no integrity behind what we do. But we have to have this unwavering belief in Beachbody, but not only in Beachbody, but in our team and in our teammates and our downline and our upline and whatever your team looks like. You know, I know we kind of have a hodgepodge team within here, but this is our team. That's cool. And we have to believe in each other, and we have to believe in Beachbody and in our leader, because Beachbody has our back. Anytime you go to a live event or, again, hear Carl talk, you know that they have our back. Like this Daily Sunshine, a brand new product. I know for some people it felt like this is out of left field, but it's not. They made it for a reason. They know what they're doing. Beachbody is a huge, now global company. They know what they're doing. And me, I'm not a mom. I don't have tons of interest probably in Daily Sunshine, but some people do. And Beachbody knows what they're doing. So that's cool. she pointed out, like, they hear everything that we say. We give feedback. Beachbody, we need a new website. Beachbody, we need to get into the United Kingdom. Beachbody, we need to do this. That's what they're doing. That's where all these updates come from. That's why Beachbody On Demand is getting more and more amazing. And Fixate, the cooking show, and there's new programs. And again, there's a new website launching and a new app launching. And we're going into the UK, and we're doing all these things because that's what we want. And they listen to us. It might take a while, but look at the size of Beachbody. First of all, it's not going to be seamless. But second of all, it's going to take a while. But they hear us, and they listen. So if they're going to listen to us, we have to trust them and kind of have that mutual trust. You know what I mean? And she said, like, it's just like your spouse. Sometimes you just got to trust them, even if you think something they do is whack or a program is like, what? You got to trust them. They know what they're doing. They hear it from somewhere, and they hear it loud enough to invest lots of money and lots of time to create that program or to create that website, or, you know what I mean? They do what it takes to implement what we want, which is cool. Anywho, so sustaining belief. Mindy Wender kind of walked through what she does to increase her belief and maintain her belief. Again, of course, personal development, to change your focus on whatever you need at the time. Positive affirmations. She was talking a lot about, well, what I wrote down was think success, not failures. So I don't know. Everyone does positive affirmations differently, and that's something that I really would love to implement more as a team because they're so powerful. But to affirm who you want to become, and kind of talk about it in that way. I don't really know. Anyways, whatever. That's positive affirmations that she does to increase and maintain her belief. Visualizations. Imagine where you want to be. It's weird, and it feels weird, and I don't know if it ever will not feel weird, but visualizing who you want to be, where you want to be, all of those things is so powerful. Hold on, Ryan's calling my name. Huh? Are you talking to me? Okay. Sorry. Are you fine with the door open? No. Okay, come here. Hey. Come on. Come inside. Round up. Let's go. Sorry, guys. Ryan has to nap on the couch. I have to have the dogs in here doing a call. Anyways, okay, visualizations. Visualizing where you want to be. Like I said, feels weird, always. Might sound weird, might look weird, might whatever, but it's cool, it's powerful, and we can talk more about both of those things, like I said. Goals, she sets her goals, or she doesn't, well, she sets them, but she writes her goals once a week, and she writes them down in present tense. So, I am a blah, blah, blah. Or I am earning blah, blah, blah. Or I was going to say I recruited. That's past tense. But whatever your goals are around, write them in present tense. Again, there's value to that too. And it seems so much more attainable and real. And when you start thinking in the present tense and seeing yourself achieving these things instead of like I will do this, that's putting it off, first of all, but that's seeing it as far-fetched and, in the future and not going to happen right now. So you don't do the things around it to make it happen. But so she writes her goals down once a week in present tense. And then your circle of influence. That's who the people you surround yourself with, and surrounding yourself with the right people. And she talked a lot about, where she was mentally and in her life and where she is now, and it had so much to do with her circle of influence. Physically, that didn't change. She didn't make friends or, end friendships or anything crazy like that. You see my dog right now? They're going crazy. But she said, my circle of influence became the authors of personal development books. And I was like, okay, yes. Because I know that a lot of you can relate to not having 7,000 friends because, of course, so much, in our lives and in our business, quality over quantity. But just like that, I'm not going to go, seek out all these peoples and become parts of networking groups. And that's not, you can do that, but that's not what I'm saying is necessary, or like finding new friendships. And of course that's right before us, so that happens too, just naturally. But your circle of influence, again, she saw as the authors of her personal development books, because there's the saying that you are most like the 5 people you spend the most time with, or something like that. So if you're always immersing yourself in personal development, oops, you're loud. If you're always immersing yourself in personal development, that's going to rub off on you. That becomes your circle of influence. So anyways, because I know that a lot of times when we hear that saying about the 5 people we spend the most time with, or needing to surround yourself with the right people, we are within this team, but I know a lot of people immediately think to like, oh, I need to end this friendship, or I should probably hang out with this person more. It doesn't have to look like that. Those things may naturally happen in your life as you change and as everyone changes. You grow apart or you grow closer to certain people, but it can just be the authors of personal development books. You don't need to go out and change all your physical relationships, Then she was also, girls, enough, children. She was also had this whole thing about believing like a Cubs fan. And she had her son come up on stage, and it was just so precious. But believe like a Cubs fan. And this, again, all wraps into belief and the entire idea of belief. Something I wrote down, I don't know if it's true or if I even wrote it down the right way, but that the Cubs went 108 years without winning a game. And Cubs fans are like die hard and they still believe. There was this kid in my high school, I don't even know what team he was, like I want to say the Broncos, but it's probably just because I see Jamie's face on here and she lives in Denver. I don't know what team it was, but it totally wasn't. Anyways, a team who like never wins. He got so much, such a hard time for being a fan of this team, but he was a fan. Every game they lost, he he wore his little jacket to school with whatever team it was, the Browns or something. I don't know who it was, but anyways, believe like a Cubs fan, and you can fail and you can mess up, and you believe like a Cubs fan because you're just die hard, Uh-oh, there's chat. You guys laughing at probably the Browns, yeah, probably. Keisha says, since joining Team Cup, I have been seeing his videos, and wow, powerful. Have loved following. Yeah, that was about Carl, but anyways, yeah, probably the Browns. I don't know who it was, but someone who never wins, and this Travis, he stood by them every single game, and we need to believe like Travis. We need to believe like a Cubs fan in whatever it is, if it's in the company or in ourselves, because we might lose a lot of games. We might lose for 108 years too, not that much, but you know what I mean? The whole idea of just being a diehard fan of yourself, first and foremost. Anyways, it was adorable. She had her son come up on I think it must have been her son come up on stage, and he shouted in the microphone or something, believe like a Cubs fan. Anyways, it was adorable. And he had a Cubs shirt on and everything. But she was, sorry, my dog's choking. Don't mind that. She's fine. But she also said, I want everyone here, or everyone listening, so I want everyone on this call, watching this call, to show up at Summit 2018 a completely different person, because you'll be a completely transformed person. So we're talking about all these things, belief in this, belief in that, do this if you don't believe in this, and, what to do around what area you need to get better at or believe in more. And if we do that, and if we take action in the areas we need to, we will be, in a year, a completely different person in a really good way, because everything is going to follow suit. Our business, our mindset, our life, our goals, our everything will follow suit if we take action in the areas that we need to. So again, she said, show up at Summit 2018 a completely different person, a completely transformed person. And then she was talking about, this hit me too, obviously it's why I wrote it down, but she said, you have more potential in you than you could use in 100 years. We do. We have so much potential inside of us that we can't even use all of it. So why would we cop out and, only use part of it? Because we are only going to use part of it because we have so much more in there, but we need to use all the potential that we can possibly use. By not taking action or whatever the case is, you're choosing to not use so much of that potential. So use what you can, because there's so much in there that we're never going to be able to use all of it, but use as much as you can every single day of your life for as long as you live. Anyways, that was just really cool to think about. She said, you have more potential in you than you could use in 100 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. That's so cool to think about. We are capable of so much, and we're only going to be able to use some of it, but we have to use all that we can. And kind of similarly, she said, in 1 to 3 years, you, your business, and your life will be unrecognizable. That too is really cool to think about. In 1 to 3 years, you, your business, and your life will be unrecognizable. But again, that comes down to us making it that way. It will not just happen because if we don't do anything with the information on this call, or we don't do anything in our next challenge group, or whatever's going to move our business forward, no, in 1 to 3 years, our life is either going to look just like it does today or worse. And I don't want to be, in 1 to 3 years, I don't want to be where I am today. I'm content with where I am now because I've done a lot of growth to get here, you know what I mean? But don't settle for that. I don't want to be here, and I don't want to, in August 6th, 2018, 18, 19, 20, I don't want to be sitting at the same desk talking to, only the same group of people and talking about this same topic. I don't want my life to look like that. I want it to be different. We want our life to be unrecognizable in 1 to 3 years in every best way possible, That's not a bad thing. That's a really cool thing. Even if you love where you're at, it's inevitable to become unrecognizable as we grow and change every single day. So that was all, not all, but that's all I had to share about Mindy Wender's topic. The next tidbits are from Melanie Mitro, who's the #1 coach for 3 years in a row. So she's got a lot of good stuff to say. We have another chat. What's up in the chat? Allie says, I got big dreams for the next 3 years, business and family-wise. I love it. Unrecognizable in the next 3 years. Totally. Okay, so Melanie Mitro, she just had a lot of random great things to say that I think everything she says obviously is valuable to someone. So I'm just kind of going to regurgitate some of the things that she said. But a really cool thing that I've already shared with a couple of you guys that I wanted to share with everyone was she mentioned that her first goal when she became a coach, it wasn't to be the #1 coach, first of all, especially not 3 years in a row. She just got there. It doesn't just happen, but that was not her vision when she signed up as a Beachbody coach. Her first goal as a coach was to make $500 for the holidays to buy Christmas presents for her kids. And she said she wrote it, whatever, on a paper or a board, or, wrote her goal of $500. And she tallied whatever income she was making until she got to her $500. So she saw it, on this, I'll say it was a whiteboard. She saw herself, okay, $20 here or whatever. I don't know what her weekly income looked like or how quickly she got there, but she was physically writing out as she got closer to earning $500 for her kids' Christmas presents. And I think it's August, first of all, September, October, November, December. It's 4 months until Christmas. 5 months until Christmas. Well, that seems like far away, but it'll come before you know it. In 5 months, every single person on this call, first of all, can, but has to make $500. If you're on this team call and you don't make $500 by the end of the year, we got to reevaluate right now. You know what I mean? But every single person on this call can have that exact same goal. And that's a really small goal. I think everyone has the potential to do that times 10. But start there. If that is overwhelming, especially, start there. That's what the #1 coach did. That was her first goal. Why can't that be my first goal or your first goal? To make $500 to buy her kids' Christmas presents. And if you're not making that now, then you're probably not relying on your coaching income for anything else. So why don't you do the exact same thing? How amazing would it be to go to your spouse, or maybe you fill them in on this already, so then they can hold you accountable to it. But how amazing would it be to say, I already set aside $500 that I already made or that I'm going to make to buy our kids Christmas presents from my Beachbody income. Because we're not making that with Beachbody right now, so we haven't allotted that money to anything else. So that Beachbody income isn't going to go to anything else. It's going to go in whatever account or wherever, to buy these Christmas presents. How cool would that be? Do that. I don't know. That's just so cool to me. And I don't even have kids, but I think that's so powerful. Oh no, a chat came up, but now I can't read it. Okay, there we go. $500 for our flights to Hawaii. There you go. It can be whatever, but you get the idea, setting aside X amount of dollars, keeping track of it, and then seeing it happen is so cool. But anyways, I just wanted to share that that's where the number one coach in the network started off with. It was a goal of $500 to buy some Christmas presents, and look where she is now, because she took action to make her first $500 and didn't stop. She also talked about become a student. If you stopped being a student in your Beachbody business, become a student again. Because we always have to be learning. There's always stuff to learn. While all the information is already out there, even the number one coach in the network hasn't learned everything. There's always something to learn. So become a student, and have that inquisitive, inquiring, whatever, learning mind, learn. Because by learning about ourselves, we grow belief in ourselves. And by learning about the products, we grow belief in the products and in the company. So learn. Be open to learning someone's tracking method, or be open to learning how the person on the National Wake Up Call does this, or whatever. Be a student. Learn. But don't wait for those learning opportunities to come to you. Seek them out, because they are all over. Which brings me to my next point, that everything we need to know is right in front of us. Whatever it is you want to do, there's probably 100 videos of it on YouTube, or wherever you can find them. Whatever you want to do may have already been done, so you can look up how it's been done and how you should do it, or ideas to get you there. There's literally probably dozens and dozens of YouTube videos on exactly whatever it is you want to do. So look at them, watch them, but it's up to you to execute them, right? And Melanie Mitchell also talked a lot about discipline and having to practice discipline. She said the only way to have success is to be disciplined, which is so true, because we have this knowledge, and we have this goal of $500, and we're a student, but it's not going to mean anything if we're not disciplined enough to do the things that we have to do to make those things happen, or to implement or execute, or whatever it looks like. Sorry, my dog's trying to get in this little picture here. Move it. Stop. She's stepping all over my stuff. She also said, remember, coming from, I wouldn't say the most successful, because remember that the top 10 coaches are not necessarily the most successful in the business, but coming from a highly successful coach, she said, more success equals more obstacles. And going into creating more action and taking action as we go into this next week, and creating, setting the tone for the second half of the year, we have to remember that more success equals more obstacles. There's never a way around obstacles, but that's the name of the game. That'll happen in any industry, any job, any area of your life, right? They go hand in hand. The other couple ideas she said she got this one from Tony Robbins. She said, if you think, regarding anything, if you think you've tried it all, list it out. If you think you've tried it all for inviting to your challenge group, make a physical list in a notebook on a scrap piece of paper of everything you've tried. And you're going to think of more ideas, because you're going to go off of this one, or, oh, wait, I haven't tried that yet, or wait, combine these two. I don't know why she made that a point, because it must be what she does. And I think that's a great idea. If you think you've tried it all, list it out. Lily is not. And again, with all of this, okay, these are kind of out of order, but that's okay. Here, I'll put that down here. Don't mind me, guys, just rearranging my bullet points. Success. Okay, again, coming from a super successful coach, Melanie Mitro, #1 coach in the network. She talked about what it takes to earn success. One thing, it takes hard work. It doesn't take secrets, and it doesn't take help from whoever. It takes hard work. That's really all she said, but she talked about the process of earning success. It's not sexy, and it's not magical, and it's not always fun. She said the process of earning success is mundane. So we have to master the mundane. The process of earning success is unexciting, is unsexy, is frustrating, is defeating. And we have to get used to those things because, again, that's in any industry, in any job, in any area of our life. It's not always so great and Instagram worthy and so fun, and those things are thrown in there, and an overwhelming part of it is making new connections and doing really great posts and having people see success and getting results and the really exciting, fun things. But it comes down to hard work, and hard work entails defeat and frustration and on kind of the unattractive side of being a business owner and of building a business. It's not always so perfect and exciting and glamorous, you know? And that's coming from Melanie Mitro, and it's just such a good reminder that you're right, you know, what it takes is putting our head down and mastering the mundane. Chill. We're almost done. So, sorry, I'm just rearranging more notes. Next bullet point, knowledge is not power. I've always, gone by the mindset that knowledge is power, and it is to some extent. But she said knowledge is not power. Knowledge is the potential of power, because it doesn't matter what you know. She said there's lots of broke geniuses. It doesn't matter what you know. Sorry, guys. What matters is what you do with the information that you have, with the knowledge that you have. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is the potential of power. And coming from someone who people say, oh, you're the Google, you're the Beachbody FAQ, that doesn't matter if I don't do anything with the information that I have. You know, I could know the whole dictionary. That didn't make any sense, but whatever. I could know a million things and it doesn't mean anything. You can be an information hoarder. You can be super smart and that doesn't mean anything, you know? I don't know. That stuck out to me. I'm joking. So that was kind of it, but kind of just wrapping it up about taking action. You can know all these things and you can hear all these calls and get all this advice, but it doesn't matter if you don't do anything with it. But stop, another point, I didn't write it down, but something that I just read going through my notes, stop getting ready to get ready. You know, I'm getting ready to make a group. No, you're either making the group or you're not. You're getting ready to send an invite. You're either sending the freaking invite or you're not, you know? Stop getting ready to do something or stop getting ready to get ready. We have to just be taking action and immediate action, not overthinking it and overanalyzing and putting ourselves into a paralysis of no action at all or minimal action or lame, lousy action. Just take action. Give up the idea of perfection. Just take action and take it right now. Immediate, massive action, you know? And again, just to kind of, sorry, I'm trying to read my notes over here that I drew arrows all over, so I'll move that bullet point down there. Again, kind of how I talked about at the beginning of the call, people are looking to you. I don't care who you are. I do, but you could have signed up as a coach yesterday. Someone is looking to you, even if it's yourself in the mirror or your mom. Someone's looking to you, and you have people's lives to impact. And that's cool. That's a responsibility, first of all. So we all have to take that responsibility and do something with it because we have enough potential in us, more potential than we could use in 100 years. Remember? And people are looking to you, and there's people's lives. Again, there's people's lives you need to impact. Kind of what I'll leave it with, I'll open up to questions. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and type them. But we're pretty much done. But they kind of left it with okay, here's all this information, but if you need a place to start, personal development. everything else will fall into place, not by itself. We have to put it into place and push it into place and execute and take this action. But if you need a place to start, it's personal development. So I will stop sharing my screen and see your pretty faces. So if there's no questions, I'll leave the chat open here for just a minute. But if I don't know what questions there could be, but if you guys have questions or comments or anything, I can share my slides if you guys want them. There wasn't like, anything of huge value on there, but if it would be helpful for you. Anyways, that was kind of it. I hope it helped or just set the tone for your week at least. And this kind of too, Sunday night team calls, it sets up the groundwork for our week ahead, just like we talked about at the beginning of the call, how August is setting up the groundwork for the rest of our year. So tonight is your night to set the tone for the rest of the, I almost said year, maybe, but the rest of the week. And this month is your opportunity to set the tone for the rest of the year. So do something with it, Don't just know that and like, oh yeah, do something. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just rambling, but we have to be taking action and believing in ourselves and believing in the company and doing the work around what we need to, So anyways, I don't see any chats coming up, so I think we're good. Again, if you want the slides, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the team page. Thanks for hopping on the call. Have a good night. I love you guys. Uh-oh, I'm trying to end it. We're just going to X out. Bye, guys.